It was important to Francis Bacon, looking back at the period I knew him and his entire career as one of the great painters of the 20th century, that the work he wanted to go out to the public to see, to go into museums, to go into people's homes, to be catalogued, is the work that he oversaw, that went out the door, that he scrutinized after it was framed and glassed, and he gave the thumbs up. If not, as when I knew him, it was destroyed. He was highly critical of his work. He was his own worst sort of critic. He would constantly rework a painting if it wasn't up to his standard. And if something he'd reworked and he wasn't satisfied with, and finally he didn't want it. And he couldn't put it outside in the garbage because people were going through his garbage looking for any Baconian scraps to use to sell. So the whole painting had to be destroyed, basically. To destroy a painting takes considerable amounts of work. It has a wooden structure which you have to bake or saw, and you have to rip the canvas off. It's actually quite tiring. One night he called me down to the French pub down in Soho. So I went down to Soho and he was drinking and he was well into enjoying himself. And he said he'd finished 2 and I was to go back and destroy the one on the left. So I went back and I arrived about midnight, took the painting on the left, down to the basement, sawed it up, ripped the canvas off and put it in my car for morning. I was going to take it over to be burnt. 4 o'clock in the morning I get a telephone call and it was a very irate Francis Bacon. And I got the volley of abuse from the rough edge of his tongue which would frighten the devil itself, I think. I destroyed the wrong one, you fool. I said, you said the left. And Francis yelled back at me. He said, any fool knows it's on the left as you stand with your back to the painting. We didn't speak for about, I think, 3 weeks after that. He was so angry.